Hey, Jeff Fedordo from Earthwalker. I'm going to take a few hours in this beautiful conifer forest and build a debris shelter made mostly of debris. I'll also be using my knife, and to speed things up a bit, I did bring a hatchet out here with me. Now, this isn't something I always pack, even though it's not extremely heavy. It does give you an extreme advantage in a conifer forest like this. If I did not have a hatchet, it would be a baton and my knife using the baton method. So I'm going to take a few hours and walk you through the process. So first thing is site location. In this forest, I'm looking for places with lots of resources and looking for places where I don't have to work as hard to dig in. In other words, blend with the natural environment. I found a nice place where a tree has fallen and created a depression in the earth right here. That's where I'm going to start. So I'm just excavating a bit, removing this earth with this digging stick. A really great mechanical advantage out here. Just a simple stick. Just creating some more living space, digging into the side of this fallen tree. Just dig into the earth. The earth has great insulative value to it. Insulates from the heat, insulates from the cold. So I'm just digging in before I concentrate on a roof or framework to hold up a roof. You know, just shuffling my feet can be an improvised way to dig and level. I've created this framework. I'm going to dig it out as much as possible and lay a layer of duff over it to insulate it. And then I'll be ready for roofing. It rained yesterday, so you can see how as the sun hits these logs, the moisture rises out of the earth. It's always nice to take a break and check these things out. I do my best to harvest resources conscientiously, so that's when tracking and observation out here helps a bit to identify the stories that are happening out here. So I found this area where this tree broke off and fell, and then crashed this madrone down as well. The madrone is struggling to live. It actually has some green branches on it, but I'm going to harvest it because I don't see it having a long life from here on out. And secondly, I'm going to use that fresh wood for resources. So this hatchet makes such quick work of this tree. But if I didn't have a hatchet, I'll show you what I can use. This is the baton method. Switch directions. After a few minutes of work, no problem, you get that. There are always plenty of dead and down trees you can use as resources for shelter. I'm using some of this cedar as framework. I'm going to build up earth over a framework into the side of this mound. So what I'm doing is I'm removing the earth along this berm here. I've reinforced this wall. And now I'm putting some framework in and covering it with dirt and duff to keep it in place. So all this dirt, earth, and biomass that I'm digging up here to level out this space, I'm placing it over here because all of it has great insulative value to it. Waste nothing. Right, now that I have this basic framework and I've dug this out, put the earth on the framework along with some duff to lock it together, I think I'm ready for an angled roof here. Now it snows, it's about 5,000 feet right here, so I want it to sustain the weight of the snow. So I need a pretty good pitch on it, so that's why I built up this side of my berm, and it'll allow me just enough living space in there. I don't want it too big because it'll be tougher to thermal regulate and heat up inside. So I think this is just about right. Thought I'd show you these really quick. It's summer turning into fall. Now it's fall, and so you'll see these rose hips. These are all edible. Tons of vitamin C in them. Good stuff. Spit out the seeds, full of vitamins and nutrients. Okay, I've got my basic framework in place. I'm just going to keep adding more framework, and then I do cross section and insulation for the roof. Not a whole lot of living space in there, but that's the way you want it, actually, nice and cozy. One of the advantages of being in a conifer forest is there's tons of duff, pine needles, leaves. You can use a stick as an improvised rake, just being able to scrape up the duff in mass quantity. Makes great insulation, great roofing. That's what I'll be working with. So now that I've got it to this stage, I've created a nice bedding here for all of the debris to lay on top of. So it's not rocket science at this point. You just create insulation. The more the better. Alright, so that's basically the finished product after 3 hours of work. Nice living space in there, a little ventilation. I could plug that all up if the weather gets a little bit colder. Definitely add some insulation on the ground, plenty of it around here. Let me take you around the side of it. Kind of like the ventilation for now. Just basically using this space where this old tree fell down and uprooted the earth. I'll take you inside now. Plenty of space for a small survival shelter. You can kind of see through in areas, indicating that I need to add a bit more roofing, but not bad. It's a basic idea. So this is a rare sight. It's a bloom of ladybugs. They're all over this tree. Here they are. This happens in the fall. That's where ladybugs come from. They help keep the earth chemistry in balance.